What does interfaith leadership look like within college campuses? We explain all the questions in relation to how exactly interfaith practices can be included in collegiate courses and campus activities. According to Interfaith Youth Corps, interfaith is the interaction between people who orient around religion differently. It does not mean people of diverse religious identities living in the same neighborhood. Instead, we are interested in how they can work together. Therefore, to be an interfaith leader, it requires a person with the knowledge, capacity for self-reflection, and empathy, values and skills to lead inclusively and effectively in a religiously and spiritually diverse environment. At St. Mary's College, the Catholic Foundation is pivotal in promoting the interfaith movement. When the Second Vatican Council was proclaimed by Pope Paul VI on October 28, 1965, the Nostra Aetate states, "The Church reproves as foreign to the mind of Christ any discrimination against men or harassment of them because of their race, color, condition of life, or religion. Religious pluralism is essential to understanding a diverse college campus and engaging in respectful dialogue. It is imperative that interfaith leadership becomes a key ingredient within the sphere of higher education." We spoke to Francis Sweeney, the Vice President of Mission at St. Mary's College of California, to hear about how liberal arts, Lasallian values, and the Catholic Foundation come together to enhance interfaith leadership.
Consultants interviewed me last week, and I said, if people sometimes want to separate and compartmentalize liberal arts, Lasallian, and Catholic, but for me, it's how those three dance together that really is the magic of St. Mary's, because you got liberal arts by your courses, but also this orientation to questions. Lasallian brings up relationship. It's a whole approach to education around relationship. And then if you're doing that, you're going to get to those most essential questions about existence, whether someone has a faith tradition or not. And that's where this Catholic comes in. So for me, it's absolutely critical that religious diversity and interfaith is part of all of that formula, right?
In order for this to be effective, we must learn to overcome our biases and become open to perspectives other than our own. That is the purpose of the interfaith movement. Ask questions, be curious, challenge the status quo. Acknowledge your own personal truth, but also the truth of others, and that is how we overcome our lens bias throughout our journey at St. Mary's. It is only normal to search for answers and ultimately certainty, but how do we deal with uncertainty? Karen McClelland, director of the Mission and Ministry Center, has a few thoughts about this.
Because they want certainty. They seek absolute certainty. I can't give you that. Actually, every year that I live on this planet, I am pretty confident that there is no certainty I can provide you, except for that, the things I listed at the very beginning. There is what we share in humanity is a desire to belong, a desire for community, a desire for love, a desire for justice, a desire for equity, a desire, like those are the things we desire. But when generally speaking, if somebody is asking me how Catholic we are, it's because they have a fear of us not being Catholic enough, or they have a fear of their idea of that not being realized, and that will result in their own insecurities about who they are on the planet.
Pluralists build bridges of respect and cooperation across boundaries of difference and do not collapse all religious traditions into one. St. Mary's College strives to engage in diversity rather than just pursuing diversity alone. The pursuit is through active campus groups and courses that allow for students to broaden their horizons and expand their knowledge on religions that dominate around the world.
Interfaith leadership serves St. Mary's Lasallian core principles as a liberal arts school. We encourage students to be acting in accordance with the core principles. The Lasallian core principles are respect for all persons, inclusive community, concern for the poor and social justice, provide quality education, and faith in the presence of God. The values of interfaith leadership align with the mission of SMC. St. Mary's College welcomes members from its own and other traditions, inviting them to collaborate in fulfilling the spiritual mission of the college. Ways in which we can promote interfaith leadership and pluralism within our campus is to create spaces for students of differing religions, to have spaces to practice the faith, whether that be spaces for prayer or a group setting that allows for communal religious activities besides Catholic Mass ceremonies. We spoke with Professor Barbara McGraw, Director of the Center for Engaged Religious Pluralism, and professor for social ethics, law, and public life. Let's hear her perspective of why interfaith matters in higher education.
In interfaith leadership. So people sometimes throw the word leadership around, but they don't actually mean leadership. And so I think all four dimensions are really important, and that people at St. Mary's would really benefit from training around these kinds of issues and an effort to come together to accomplish things where we bring different people from different faiths together to serve common goals and achieve things together through common values.